Is something which is very one learning. Now, as you rightly said, we are in a transition phase and a very difficult transition phase. Sometimes transition is for good, some transition is for bad. A very difficult phase. Uh, I think the fundamentals of microfinance and the systems to run microfinance are going through a drastic change. Now, let me come first to the fundamental. The whole foundation of microfinance is on joint liability group, JLG. It has gone for a toss. It is every passing day, the joint liability group is becoming more of a theoretical concept rather than on the field. And wherever it is happening, it's happening in deep rural pockets. But even there now, with all mobile and media and awareness and influences, even there it is getting compromised. So I think first is that if the foundation of something starts going through a change and there is a seismic movement in the foundation, is the structure going to stand? And the rule of nature says no. If the foundation is shaken or there is a termite in the foundation, or the foundation becomes weak, or the foundation gets dismantled, the building will collapse. And this is what we are seeing right now. Conveniently, microfinance started thinking, okay, from JLG loan, let's go to individual loan. This is for me, as a very independent person, I'm making this statement, this is the biggest mistake. The skills required to handle the business of individual loan is very different from the JLG loan. And it has high risk, high cost of credit, high cost of staff, high rate of interest, because risk is risk-based pricing. So I think doing individual loan as a microfinance institution will be questioned, because if you start charging high rate of interest, RBI is asking why you are charging such a high rate of interest being a microfinance, and you may get profitability impacted by that. But then again the question is coming, why such a high ROA, why you are booking ROA of 4%, 5%, because you are serving the poor. But in individual loan we are not serving the poor, we are serving who has crossed the poverty line, who is taking 1 lakh rupee loan, 70,000 rupees loan, and also secured, unsecured, those both windows are being used now, Bigger MFIs has a very big window for secured lending, 20-25%, and then their JLG lending. So that is technicalities, but again linked to fundamentals. Third is most important again, which is the foundation again, is the staff. The entire microfinance industry has been served for last 25-30 years by people, youngsters who come from villages. They themselves come from same poor socioeconomic strata, had very limited opportunities 20 years back, 30 years back. They had never seen even the capital cities, forget about Mumbai, Delhi. And now they are attending the annual meetings in 5-star hotels. So from no exposure to complete exposure, aspirations has changed. And a lot of new opportunities for employability has come. And if I can earn same or better money by working less harder, that I don't have to start at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock and I don't have to end my day at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, then why should I work in microfinance? That's one question. At least in microfinance, the advantage is that if I'm a school pass out or a graduate, I don't have to go through a competition or exam or anything, and I get a job and I get assured salary. In other jobs, they may require English, grooming, some expectations are there, but here there is no expectation.
Apart from that,
no, expectation is only how to ride a motorbike when they come for a job.
right.
That is the expectation.
Right.
They have a driving license and they have a motorbike.
Right.
That's, if you have these two things, you can get a job in microfinance. Whether you succeed or not, that's a different
That's a
thing.
different thing.
But that's the only requirement. So this is the only industry where you can go with your driving license and motorbike and say, I need a job, and you will be given a
Now
job.
the other opportunities are also creeping in with the same kind of
Same kind, Swiggy, Zomato, this, that, where you can earn more money and you can decide not to work today You can decide only to work for 2 hours a day or 4 hours a day. So there is lot of options have come which are great. The culture of respect, the whole foundation, again question related to foundation is that microfinance genesis is on social values, on human respect, respect to women, respect to our colleagues who work very hard at the grassroots level, which comes from the development perspective, move to a commercial perspective where target became more important than human beings. Respect became less important than your deliverables. And if we think by shouting or abusing we can make somebody function, its impact is now being seen that people are, the generation change has happened in the last 20-30 years. Gen Z has come and now these are coming, that generation is coming. For them more than money, their self-esteem is important, their respect is important. So if we don't do that, why should they work in that sector? They can earn money.
But in the banking industry, same thing we are seeing. But people are working in that segment.
No, when you say about formal banking, the benefits and opportunities are great. So somebody who is earning 15,000 rupees salary and incentive can't be compared even to a admin staff of a bank who has a pension, who has a secure job, and who get a lot of benefits, holidays. At least bank is closed on Sundays, bank is closed on 2 Saturdays, bank is closed on all holidays, bank open at 10 o'clock, it closes at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So you have your fixed working hours. So there are a lot of, so we cannot compare microfinance with the banking industry, to be honest. These are two different ecosystems altogether. I think over a period of time, this whole ambition to grow very fast, grow quickly, 10,000 crore, 20,000 crore, all this loading happens either on staff or on clients. Nobody else take this loading. There are people to give money, debt institution, there are people to invest money as investors, and there are people who are the promoters and shareholders of the company. But who is taking the load? The physical load. Mental load, okay, everybody is taking, but physical load is being taken by people who are at the grassroots.
Right.
So this loading, to what extent it can be transferred? There is a limit to it. I can lift only 20 kg.
But are you thinking that loading is happening or expansion is happening?
Both. So I think the efficiency, so on one side, the ecosystem is changing, the fundamentals are changing, the JLG formation is changing, exposure is changing, and at the same time load is increasing. So my operational efficiency, I am expected to make X number of groups and have such a caseload which may not be viable, in the ecosystem. But if I do less, my growth reduces, and I get upset about it because it's not viable for me. So I think this whole aspirational aspect has to be handled very, very carefully. So now, until this we revisit the fundamentals and start looking into if we are shaking the foundation itself, then for very long, there is a big threat to the whole ecosystem which we have created over here.
Right.
Now,
if we are not adapting and adjusting.
If we are not adapting and adjusting,
right,
and we need to do it yesterday, we are already late. Abhi people are just avoiding, or they are getting a feel of it, but they are not realizing the intensity of it, the depth of it. प्रॉब्लम कितना गहरा, कैंसर कितना अंदर तक फैल गया ये किसी को भी मालूम नहीं है. सो अभी सिर्फ सिम्टम्स दिख रहे हैं, अभी कोई उसके डायग्नोसिस में गया नहीं है.
I would like to interrupt. Sangeeta went to field, and I don't want to take the name of the institution.
Sure.
She was telling that the kind of language the line manager or the super line manager was using. I mean, it is very insulting and it was really bad.
Yes.
And the face of that person. I don't want to take the name.
ले आओ पानी इसी में डाल दो, और अभी सलीम कुछ लाएंगे स्नैक्स, तो एक ब्लैक टी बना के लाना और एक 2 नॉर्मल चाय बना के लाना. ठीक है, ब्लैक टी में चीनी नहीं डालना, ये पानी इसमें डालना। ठीक है, आशा है, चलो मैं उसको बताऊँ। ठीक है, जस्ट